Hello and welcome back to Hypnosis Today, where we explore how people are using hypnosis to achieve remarkable things. If you've just joined us, I have two more very special guests. Well, my first guest is Yasmine Verberckt. Now, she's an honors grad of HMI College of Hypnotherapy, and she has with her her very special guest, Cindy. Cindy came in to visit Yasmine to overcome strong negative emotion. Please help me welcome my guests. Well, Cindy, I'm going to start with you. What was going on?
I've always had a very strong jealous streak.
Tell me what you mean by jealous streak.
If my friends get together and have a Facebook party and I'm not there or invited, I get very upset. I get personally offended by it. I don't necessarily get sad. I get angry. It's connected to jealousy.
So you call it jealousy, but it's feeling of rejection and sadness.
I mean, I wouldn't call it rejection because they're still my friends. It's more a matter of why didn't they invite me? I'm fun.
So you get jealous
I
of
get
the people who are there. I get it. And so why see a hypnotherapist and, I don't know, maybe a priest, a rabbi, walking into a bar? No, that's not where I want to go.
I tried bars.
Yes. Why not some sort of a big personal spiritual leader who teaches you not to covet thy neighbors or thy neighbors' animals?
Well, I did actually try traditional talk therapy for a while.
Really? What was that like?
And it helped me with some issues that I was having, mostly with my family and dealing with my own reactions. But there was a hurdle that I wasn't able to get past in terms of the jealousy. It was still popping up all over and making it hard to want to be around people.
Of course.
Yeah.
How did you find Yasmine?
A friend of mine, she put out on Facebook, I hate saying that name so many times, she put out that she had such a wonderful experience in hypnotherapy, and if anybody was interested and needed something they were working on, needed some help, she would be happy to give them the number, and so she did.
Well, here I have to commend you, Yasmine, because we don't need to go out there and tell everybody how stellar we are, no matter how stellar we are, but by doing wonderful work that creates an uplifting, healing energy, then people want to shout it from the hilltops. And so I want to thank you for your work with that person, and then again with your work with Cindy. So what did hypnosis feel like for you?
It was pretty comfortable. From the beginning, when we did a lot of talking, a lot of crying. No, she didn't, I did.
Okay.
And it felt a little bit strange at first, sort of letting someone put me to sleep and giving me positive suggestions, but so far it's been about a year. And the impetus was my sister, who is 5 years my junior, got married a week later.
Wow.
So I was needing some help.
Are you a married lady?
I am not a married lady.
I never heard of a younger sister getting married first causing any kind of conflict. So you used a very interesting term, put me to sleep. Did it feel like sleep to you?
It does. I tend to be a very heavy sleeper, and I can sleep anywhere. So that's sort of just the way it felt. Is a comfortable, calm. And when I would come to, it felt like I had taken a little nap.
So now I have to go to the expert here, hypnotherapist Yasmine. Was she asleep, or was she in a state where there was amnesia? Can you tell us, and can you tell everybody here?
Exactly. So we use some words in hypnosis, such as deep sleep, really to create an association to a specific depth, a specific state. So that's where maybe the confusion lays sometimes with our clients. That happens frequently. But hypnosis is really a state in which we are extremely focused, just like when we just wake up in the morning and we're sort of dazed and we're awake, but we're not really awake. It's really a form of hypnosis, and that same feeling is elicited when we are practicing hypnotherapy with our clients.
Yes, and I know that when you have that sense of incredible focused awareness, it's an alpha state. And what I hear Cindy describing is something called a theta state, where there actually is amnesia. You can't remember what happened, but you're still following little tiny commands like when you feel better, raise your finger or take a deep breath. Even though when you awaken from the hypnotic trance, you'll have no memory of it. So interesting. So now that we use those terms like deep sleep, what do you do with a client who wants to overcome strong negative emotions that are actually impacting relationships?
Absolutely. Well, first we want to teach them why these emotions are occurring, that all emotions really have a purpose, including the ones that feel unpleasant, and that they're really there to teach us. They're drawing attention to, we're focused on something we don't have yet, and something that we want, and so that we can get specific with the client and in detail really get clarity. What is it that you want really in detail, so that we can hit the target, because you can't hit a target that you can't see.
You can't hit a target you can't see. So especially with your sister, the one who's 5 years younger, who is getting married, in what way did you find the gift of jealousy? What was the gift in that?
That there's something that I want that I don't yet have.
And what is it that you want? Speak it out loud. Giving breath to something gives it
I
power.
want a husband. I want a man who wants to love me, and I want to love him back.
I like it, and I think that's a wonderful, wonderful goal. So the jealousy actually gave clarity. And what do we do next?
Well, in hypnosis, first we want to give her some comfort and give her some relief from that jealousy. Once we understood the learning from it, we can move forth. So in hypnosis, once in the hypnotic state, we want to bring up that feeling of jealousy, just a feeling, and really bring it up so she can get it, the client can get in touch with it, feel it in the body. And the more she tries to feel it, the harder it becomes. And the more you try to feel it, the more relaxed you become. And have them try it while they're in hypnosis. Go ahead and try harder. And the harder you try, the bigger the smile appears on your face. And it's just the subconscious mind accepting that you are now relaxed and that you can accept this replacement that's in place for you now.
Now, since Cindy is hypnotically talented, because she is a deep sleeper, she would be hypnotically talented. And what I mean by that is if you gave 10 kids a tennis racket, on the first day, some would be better than others at hitting the ball. By the 10th lesson, they all would be better than each one was on the first lesson, right? So you're what's called hypnotically talented. When, it's true, bet your sister's not. All right. So when she was in a theta state where she had some amnesia, could you see that smile?
Yes, we could see the smile, and we also ask some cues. If you can really, are you in touch with the feeling? Are you there? You know, give me a head nod so I can really follow where she is at.
Do you have memory of that? Or is it just, there's been an amazing change upon awakening from the hypnotic trance?
I have some memories of it, but not significant, not specific ones.
So now...
I know she's asked me to move my finger or move my head, but I don't necessarily know when I was doing it.
Ah, so now, this is even better. Now that, since we don't have a lot of memory, now I want to ask practically, what's your life been like when you are interacting with your sister?
It's the jealousy there is gone. I mean, my sister and I, we fight, but that's because we're very similar.
Yes.
But it's much more relaxed now.
And was jealousy popping up in other areas of your life?
Absolutely.
How is it now?
Much reduced. Much reduced. And a lot less focus on why does she have it and I don't, and more a matter of, well, she's got something that he wants and I got something else, so someone else is going to find it.
So I like it. So have there been any other strong emotions that you've been able to master that were uncomfortable for you, that you've been able to master to make the quality of your life better?
Well, there was a specific sort of, someone had said something specific to me as a child that had left a very strong impression.
Are you comfortable sharing?
Sure. Someone told me once that no one would ever love me.
That's very deeply, profoundly painful. How old were you?
12?
So the subconscious mind is still partially open.
Yeah. So it was tough. And I didn't necessarily realize the impact it had. I mean, I knew it did, but I didn't necessarily know the impact. And sort of recently, a couple months ago, we delved into that, and things have changed remarkably since then.
Was Yasmine able to help you take a look at that and evaluate it from all four corners to see if that belief was still helpful to you?
Yes.
How did you help her release it?
We did what we call an arm rigidity, where we put all of the emotions into the arm stiffening, and then we let it go by touching the wrist and just letting go of all the emotions. They're pulled out of the body, and so, you know, they serve their purpose and they're no longer needed.
And so you can release them. And now when I ask you the question, and tell me the truth, are you lovable?
Yeah. Yes.
Good job.
She did good. Yes.
Amazing, because it no longer serves you. And I think that and I just met you, I think that you're lovable and kind and present and have such a good energy. May I ask, what are you doing right now as far as a career path?
I'm currently a substitute teacher trying to find a full-time position.
I love it. So you're educating children. What's your favorite age?
3rd grade, so about 8, 9.
Right as the subconscious mind is beginning to close.
I do like the idea of molding their personalities a little bit.
I think that with everything that you are helping the next generation so they do not have to become suggestible to things that are not helpful and not true. How are you going to use the things that you learned with Yasmine to hit that target, to be able to manifest that wonderful job molding young minds?
Well, I think we talk a lot about the value of the actual language that we use, whether it's positive language or negative language can talk about the same exact thing. So my students are never allowed to say can't, they're never allowed to say won't, and they're never allowed to say this is easy. Because this is easy suggests to someone else that if it's difficult for them, they're stupid. So they're not allowed to say that.
So you understand the power of language. Describe to me your perfect job.
Right now would be
right now.
Teaching in a 3rd grade classroom, just with a bunch of kids who are ready to learn.
And how far do you want to drive or walk to get there?
Ideally would be a 10 to 15 minute drive. It's not really feasible because I want to work with students who are whose families are mostly immigrants, and I don't live in a particularly immigrant community.
So how far do you want to drive because you want this population?
30 to 40 minutes in a morning, which would mean an hour to an hour and a half at home at night.
Well, there is something that is said that when you give something breath and put it out there, that it gives it energy. And as you visualize it, it shifts the universe in your favor. And the next time you work with Yasmine, she's going to teach you more about thoughts into manifestation, right?
I'd be happy to.
Yasmine, tell me more about what you can use for like 3 post-hypnotic suggestions for anyone who wants to substitute relaxation and calm for strong, negative, painful emotions.
Sure. Each time you step outside, you'll notice you'll have the urge to take in a big, deep breath as the mind is calm and the physical body relaxes. Or each and every time you find yourself in a situation where in the past you experienced jealousy, you now receive clarity and insight. From this moment on, you are aware of your emotions. And when you notice thoughts or feelings that are not in line with your desire, you pause and remember to use your tools.
And what would you say to someone who is thinking about seeing a hypnotherapist to be able to get that relief from strong, painful emotions?
I actually just recommended that my roommate start seeing a hypnotherapist because she's seen such a positive change in me just in terms of my attitude that she's looking for the same. So I suggested that she talk to a hypnotherapist to find some clarity and also push away some of the doubt that seems to cripple her.
Sure. What would you say to anyone about seeing Yasmine?
I love her. Don't take my time.
You may see Yasmine, but not on Tuesdays from 3 to 4.
Exactly.
I like it. Well, Yasmine Verberckt, everyone's going to want to know more about your hypnotherapy. You're fluent in another language, aren't you?
I am. I'm also fluent in Dutch and French.
Dutch and French. So if you speak Dutch or French or English and you want to reach Yasmine Verberckt, go to hmigrads.com. Now, if you don't live in the greater Los Angeles area, can someone have a session with you?
Absolutely. All you need is a computer and a Skype, and then I perform sessions with people worldwide. It's just as effective and pleasant.
So people can do it if they're in Morocco or France or Belgium.
Belgium, exactly.
Or even Florida, if you speak English or French or Dutch. It appears that we're out of time for today. I want to thank Yasmine for teaching us all about hypnosis to overcome strong, negative, and painful emotions. From the bottom of my heart, I want to thank you, Cindy, for sharing these profoundly personal and being so articulate in describing your experience. I want to thank everybody here in the studio audience and those of you watching at home. My name is Lisa Mackenberg, and I hope you'll tune in next time when we learn more about Hypnosis Today. But please stay tuned. We have a lot more coming up for you on hypnosistv.com. Stay tuned.